If you're watching this channel, it's because you don't enjoy watching the world squander what Christendom built, but you want to do your part. And chances are you've heard me mention a great means by doing just that. Email made by and for Catholics. Check out fidei.email. That's FIDEI.email. Built for Catholic individuals, families, organizations, and groups. They're private, secure, and of course, they're Catholic. And they're offering 2 months off on your first year for an annual subscription if you enter the coupon code Return to Tradition without spaces. That's the name of this channel, without spaces, at checkout. The Paris Olympics are finally behind us, and we were all witnesses not only to a diabolical opening spectacle, ceremony, if you want to call it that, a ritual to open the games, but then we were all witnesses to a debacle of a games that were just an embarrassment for all thinking people everywhere, as ideology was essentially foisted on the athletes. But then to close the ceremonies, they had another diabolical, satanic-looking ritual. And all of this was, of course, a clear mockery of the faith, and Christians who spoke up about it were mocked. That's what we know about. Well, it turns out a lot more happened than that. You see, some Christians decided in France, they looked into the legality of all this and found that the mockery of the faith at the opening ceremonies was illegal according to French law. Illegal because the French government participated in this. They were the host country. They had to okay everything. They had to say in everything. And it was a violation of French law. And when they decided to go to the authorities to report this, they were arrested. Yes, they were arrested. This is an organization called Citizen Go. They're a Christian sort of activist group in Europe. And they have an open letter here. Yes, it's a call to fundraise to help their efforts to get justice for this. I will give you that caveat here. If you would like to donate to their cause after you hear their pitch, I will have a link. I'll try to put it in the show notes here and in the pinned comment down below. I don't normally do that. If I forget, please let me know, and I'll try to fix it as quickly as I can. Here's the letter. It was published by Marco Tossati. He's an Italian journalist with deep ties and deep sources in the Vatican. So he's legitimate, and he is actually, you can trust that this is a legitimate fundraiser. Protesting Crypto Satan Olympics, Macron's France arrests you. Posted by Marco Tossati on the 14th of August, to be a couple of days ago, on his website, marcotossati.com. Hi, Marco. The world witnessed the mockery of our faith at the Olympics, and we could not remain silent. During the opening ceremony of the 2024 Paris Olympics, Christians around the world were shocked and deeply hurt that Jesus was openly mocked in front of a global audience. And what can only be described as a grotesque travesty, the Last Supper, one of the most deeply revered moments in our Christian faith, has been performed by immodestly dressed confused people, those mocking others in their genetic reality, and other performers in an offensive and blasphemous manner. This was no mere artistic expression, but a calculated attack on everything we hold sacred. We acted quickly to bring your concerns directly to Paris. Within days, we met with a lawyer to discuss our options for suing those responsible for the ceremony. Along with 5 colleagues, I traveled to Paris to bring your voice and that of over 400,000 people who have signed our petition demanding an apology and concrete action to stop the attacks on Christians. Now the world has also seen how the tyrannical French authorities have tried to silence us and lock us up. Yes, you read that right. The police lied to us, telling us that they would only take us to the police station to file a report. Instead, they humiliated us, forcing us to endure conditions that no law-abiding citizen should have to endure. I can still see the red handcuff marks on my wrists. I can still hear the sirens going off as they took us away. I was treated like a criminal. Stripped and searched, stripped of my personal belongings, and thrown into a dark cell for the night with the 2 other women in our group. The fear and shock were unbearable. I had a panic attack. I couldn't breathe. The walls of that hot, dark cell felt like they were crushing me. But we prayed together, comforted each other, and refused to let the tyrannical and unjust actions of the police bring us down. Thank God, through pressure from our team outside, the French police were forced to release us, so my 5 friends and I returned home safe and sound. But the fight is far from over. We were arrested not because we committed a crime or broke the rules. We made sure we were completely in compliance with the law, but because we opposed the offensive actions during the opening ceremony of the Olympics and defended the rights of Christians around the world. I was terrified. I was shocked. But now I'm back. I have regrouped and am now ready to fight, stronger than ever, so that you and every Christian will be safe from arrest. As I said, Citizen Go immediately began planning legal action against those who authorized an opening ceremony that made a mockery of Christians around the world. We are now also pursuing other legal action to bring to justice those responsible for this illegal detention and abuse of power against us. But to do that, we need your help. We need to raise money to cover legal fees, court costs, and all the other costs that this fight entails. If we don't fight back now, these despotic authorities might be emboldened to expand attacks like this against Christians who dare to speak out. It's about defending our faith, protecting the fundamental rights of every Christian, and making sure what happened to me that day doesn't happen to you tomorrow. Will you help us? This fight is not just about what happened to us in Paris. It is about protecting your rights, your faith, and ensuring that no Christian faces the same injustice tomorrow. What happened to us that day was the greatest injustice I have ever experienced. But I know we were targeted in this attack because Citizen Go is always the first on the scene, the first to defend our faith. The abuse of power, the denial of fundamental rights, the intimidation and humiliation I suffered in Paris were direct consequences of our unwavering commitment to be on the front lines and to be your voice on the worldwide stage. When Christians speak out, we face retaliation, and if we don't react immediately, these injustices will only get worse. This traumatic experience will remain etched in my memory forever, but it also strengthens our mission to ensure that you, I, and every single Christian can defend our faith freely without fear of persecution or punishment. So let's take a stand, brave and decisive. We refuse to forget why we were in Paris. The ceremony was a calculated attack on Christian values, orchestrated with the complicity of the state. By endorsing this spectacle, the French state violated its duty of neutrality and took an illegal stance on a religious issue. For this reason, we are taking legal action on two fronts. First, to challenge the blatant mockery of our faith during the Olympic ceremony. The second, to denounce the unjust arrest and mistreatment we suffered in Paris at the hands of the police, the intimidation and extortion tactics they used to silence us. These legal battles are fundamental but also expensive. Will you help me ensure that we have the resources to fight this battle to the end and set a precedent that will protect Christians like you and me all over the world? 100% of your donation will go towards ensuring that your faith is defended, that justice is done, that these wrongs are righted, that Citizen Go remains able to continue fighting future battles as quickly as possible. Citizen Go has been on the front lines since the beginning. We were the first to stand up when our faith was mocked and trampled upon. We acted quickly, arriving in Paris with a bus and over 400,000 signatures on our petition, and planning legal action against those responsible for the blasphemy of the opening ceremony of the Olympics. Citizen Go was consistently first. While I laid in fear in that suffocating cell, our team outside worked tirelessly, contacting lawyers and embassies to get us out. Within a day, they secured our release. Now we are the first to react and to set an example to those who abuse their power over Christians. But our agility and success in this operation are impossible without you. We need your support to see this through. If we let the injustice my team and I endure go unanswered, other tyrants like the Paris police will believe that Christians can be silenced and our faith trampled upon without consequences. This is more than a legal battle. It is a fight for our rights and our faith. If we don't act now, what will happen to Christians like you and me tomorrow? Please help me make sure you never have to go through what I went through. Help me to show the world that Christians are not willing to be intimidated. Thank you for your prayers, your unwavering support, and your immense generosity during this difficult time. Signed, Isabella Moreno, with my 5 colleagues arrested and the entire Citizen Go team. P.S. The world watched our faith be mocked during the Olympics, and when we stood up to defend it, we were illegally arrested and thrown in jail. The fight is not just about what happened to me, it is about protecting the rights of Christians around the world. We're taking legal action to bring those responsible to justice, but we need your support to see it through. Your donation today will help us resist these attacks and ensure that no Christian has to go through what we have. Let us show the world that our faith will not be silenced. Yes, what they were subject to is diabolical, but it shouldn't be surprising. I mean, at this point, why would it surprise us? The games themselves were diabolical and a mockery of everything decent. Both the opening ceremonies, the closing ceremonies, and then in addition to that, the absolute absurdity and the foisting of ideology onto the athletes we saw there. Many of the athletes, by the way, too afraid to speak out. I don't have to go into details. You already know what I'm talking about. Put some examples of it in the comments if you want to. But I'm curious what you think about this letter. Are you inclined to help, if maybe not financially, but with prayers? You happy to see this? Are you suspicious of it? Again, Marco Tosatti is a very good journalist in Italy, and he can easily vet these groups, and he's got direct ties to Citizen Go, so he knows that this is legitimate, so I wouldn't have to worry about it. But let me know what you thought about this in the comments, please. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't. It does help. So does sharing this on social media. That helps too. And as always, pray for the church. I'm Anthony Stine. Ave Maria.